Hello everyone, Sergeant Archibald here, and today we're going to be reacting to the History of Russia Part 4. And pretty much, the last episode, I forgot what happened in the last episode. It was talking about the Napoleonic Wars. I remember that. Oh, okay. I think, this episode they're going to talk about how Napoleon invades Russia in 1812. Let's get started. Maybe I'm right. This time I won't mute myself for 2 minutes like I did the last time.
1825.
And again, Siberia is not a country.
Victory over Napoleon had confirmed Russia's status as a world
Oh yeah, that already happened. I remember them talking about that.
power. But there was discontent within Russia amongst intellectuals and army officers, some of whom had formed secret societies to plot the overthrow of Russia's autocratic system.
Yeah.
When Emperor Alexander
I didn't know this happened so early.
Oh. was succeeded, not as expected by his brother Constantine, but by a younger brother, Nicholas. One of these secret societies used the confusion to launch a military coup. But the Decembrist Revolt, as it became known, was defeated by loyalist troops, and the ringleaders were hanged. Others were sent into internal exile in Siberia. This was to become a common sentence for criminals and political prisoners.
Wow, I didn't know they had, I guess you can call them gulags now. And I didn't know they had gulags 100 years ago, 100 years before the Soviet Union was in power, That's pretty interesting.
In Tsarist Russia, Nicholas went on to adopt an official doctrine of Orthodoxy, Autocracy, and Nationality.
What do you mean, nationality? There's 50 gajillion nationalities in Russia. Just look at an ethnic map of the Caucasus, for example. There's 50 gajillion different ethnic groups. What are you gonna do with nationality? I don't get it. And how are you gonna exercise that, around this whole entire huge country?
The state was to rest on the pillars of church, Tsar, and the Russian national spirit. A clear rejection
What about the people that aren't Russian? What are they gonna do?
Of the values of European liberalism.
Oh yeah.
In the Caucasus, border clashes with Persia led to a war which ended in complete Russian victory. The Treaty of Turkmenchay forced Persia to cede all its territories in the region to Russia and pay a large indemnity.
Rude.
Russian support for Greece in its war of independence against the Ottomans led to war between Russia and the Ottoman Empire.
Oh, come on. You haven't learned your lesson still? Oh my gosh. Oh, Mr. Ottoman Empire, you literally lost against the Russians during the Napoleonic Wars when you were way more powerful. And you expect to win now? What?
Russian victory brought further gains in the Black Sea region.
Oh my gosh.
A Polish revolt, led by young army officers, was crushed by Russian troops. Alexander Pushkin, Russia's greatest poet, was shot in a duel, and 2 days later died from his wounds.
Oh.
Nicholas sent troops to help put down a Hungarian revolt against Austrian rule.
Well, that was nice of them. Oh yeah, they're in the Holy Alliance, I forgot.
The emperor's willingness to help suppress liberal revolts won him the nickname the gendarme, or policeman, of Europe. Russia's first...
It's literally like the United States in the world now.
Major railway was opened, connecting St. Petersburg and Moscow. Alexander Herzen, a leading intellectual critic of Russia's autocracy, emigrated to London, where he continued to call for reform in his homeland. He'd later be described as the father of Russian socialism.
Really? That's
The Ottoman Empire, now known as the sick man of Europe, reacted to further Russian provocations by declaring war.
Why? You're
Russia
even weaker now. You expect to win again? Oh my gosh. Why? You donkey. You donkey, why?
Black Sea Fleet inflicted a crushing defeat on the Turks at the Battle of Sinope. But Britain and France, alarmed at Russia's southern expansion and potential control of Constantinople, declared war on Russia. The Allies landed troops in Crimea and besieged the naval base of Sevastopol, which fell after a grueling year-long siege.
A year-long siege. Wow.
In the Baltic, British and French warships blockaded the Russian capital, St.
This is a pretty big war. I did not know this ever happened.
Petersburg. Russia was forced to sign a humiliating peace, withdraw its forces from the Black Sea, and put on hold plans for further southern expansion.
So the Ottomans won, I guess. Wow. I guess I was wrong. A liberator.
Nicholas I was succeeded by his son, Alexander II. The Crimean War had exposed Russia's weakness. The country lagged far behind its European rivals in industry, infrastructure, and military power. So Alexander, unlike his father, decided to embrace reform. The most obvious sign of Russia's backwardness was serfdom. According to the 1857 census, more than a third of Russians were serfs, forced to work their master's land with few rights, restrictions on movement, and their status passed down to their children. They were slaves in all but name.
Wow.
In 1861, Alexander II abolished serfdom in Russia. He was hailed as the liberator. But in reality, most former serfs remained trapped in servitude and poverty. Alexander's reforms would continue with the creation of the Zemstva, provincial assemblies with authority over local affairs, including education and social welfare. In the Far East, Russia forced territorial concessions from a weakened China, leading to the founding of Vladivostok.
Wait, they forced them? I did not know that. They took like a big chunk of land too.
Russia's major Pacific port.
Yeah.
Another
Like, it's like the only big city in Siberia. I think it has over 1 million people. It's crazy.
uprising by Poles and Lithuanians against Russian rule was once more crushed by the Russian army. In the Caucasus, Russia's long and brutal war against local tribes came to an end,
Finally.
with their leaders swearing oaths of loyalty to the Tsar. In Central Asia, the Russian Empire was gradually expanding southwards. Russian armies defeated the Emirate of Bukhara and the Khanate of Khiva, and by the 1880s,
I'm surprised it skipped over the Civil War.
Russia had conquered most of what was then called Turkestan, today the countries of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan.
Wow.
Imperial rivalry in Central Asia between Russia and Britain led to the Great Game, a 19th century version of the Cold War.
Oh.
Centered on Afghanistan, diplomats and spies on both sides tried to win local support, extend their own influence, and limit the expansion of their rival, while avoiding direct military confrontation. Russia decided to sell Alaska to America for $7.2 million.
What? That's crazy. Wow, that is cheap. Seriously, the United States got so lucky. They got so much land for literally so cheap. They got the Louisiana Purchase for nothing. They got Alaska for nothing. Wow.
Many Americans thought it was a waste of money. Gold and oil were only discovered there much later.
Yeah. Now Russia is mad about it.
Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace was published, still regarded as one of the world's greatest works of literature. The late 19th century was a cultural golden age for Russia, a period of literary greats and outstanding composers. Russia, in support of nationalist revolts in the Balkans against Ottoman rule, went to war with the Ottoman Empire once more.
Wow, so it's helping Austria-Hungary with its nationalist revolts, but it's helping nationalist revolts on the Ottoman Empire.
Russian troops crossed the Danube, then, with Bulgarian help, fought to secure the vital Shipka Pass. Then they
What's
launched
that?
a bloody 5-month siege of Plevna in Bulgaria. Russia and her allies finally won victory, with their troops threatening Constantinople itself.
Wow.
But at the Congress of Berlin, Russia bowed to international pressure and accepted limited gains. In a sense,
Jeez, it's like there's this like new age almost of sort of globalism or Europeanism. I guess it's not really globalism yet. Where like all of Europe is connected, so like, you know, Russia can't just take whatever it wants anymore without, you know, angering all the other European powers.
settlement that also led to independence for Romania, Serbia, Montenegro, and later Bulgaria. Meanwhile, within Russia, radical political groups were increasingly frustrated by Alexander II's limited reforms. There were several failed attempts to assassinate the emperor, but as he prepared to approve new constitutional reforms, he was killed in St. Petersburg.
Wow, congratulations! The only person that could actually tolerate you and listen to you. You
By a bomb
decided
thrown
to
by
kill him.
members of the People's Will, one of the world's first modern terrorist groups.
Like, what do you think is gonna happen after this? What do you think that accomplished?
This act of violence would lead only to a new era of repression.
Yeah, like what do they think they were going to do? Like, did they think the new Russian leader would be like, oh my gosh, you see what happened to him? We gotta listen to these guys. No, you donkey, they're gonna get mad. They're gonna try to avenge him and all that. You just made everyone mad at you.
Did you know all
Wow, that was pretty good. That's the end of that. Tomorrow I'll watch part 5, which will probably talk about the Russian Revolution, World War One, maybe even World War Two. How long is it? 12 minutes. So yeah, I guess not very. I guess it'll just cover World War One. I wonder how long the series is too. It's longer than I thought, but that's good because this series is pretty fun actually. Anyways, goodbye. Hello everyone. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel, and you know, turn on the notification bell thingy. And if you didn't, then make sure to leave a thumbs down. Oh yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, go ahead and watch my other videos. They're probably just as good, and if not better than this one right now. Except for my oldest videos, don't watch those. And, you know, subscribe to these people down here, my fellow sergeants. They're other YouTubers that I either know or I have in high regards. Yeah, even my cat agrees. So, thank you for watching, and have a great day.